Good day, and thank you for joining me today. We're going to be going over the process behind the creation of my project this month for Project and Portfolio 3. We're going to be talking a lot about how I've been pushed into new areas of creativity through impulsivity. So, my name is Madison Kiekler, and I'm excited to jump into this. While it's not my normal approach, I have decided that I wanted to start this presentation off with highlighting what my weak points have been and what the things were I discovered that were holding me back in trying to be a creative and trying to make a name for myself in the industry. One of the biggest mistakes that I was making, and I think that this is very common among creatives, is that I was struggling to create a sense of individual uniqueness in the things that I was creating. Because I feel, especially with social media, a lot of us are constantly seeing the things that are being created by other people, and we constantly want to figure out how to apply that to ourselves. And in that, a lot of times we end up losing what makes us unique and what makes our creation special. I also was really caught up in a fear of failure, which I really hadn't noticed before. And I found myself getting frustrated when I would try something. If it didn't work right away, I would abandon it. But what I started doing was pushing myself, because I found that my ideas were not necessarily bad ideas just because I didn't get it right on the first, second, even third attempt. That doesn't mean it was a failure. It means that there are pieces of that work for me, and I just need to figure out how to better apply them. I wanted to take the opportunity to show these because even though they weren't anything that I liked enough to share, there was still something about all of these that worked at least a little bit. And instead of giving up and scrapping the idea, I continued to push through that and try to control the different variables to get the result that I was looking for. So all of these images had some kind of issue, whether that was lighting, the distance from the camera, the angle of the camera, or the environment. I just was not able in that moment to get the effect that I was looking for. These images, on the other hand, were the victories. This was the payoff for continuing to push past and figure out what wasn't working and what I could change in order to make that work. And I really love all of these images. And while these aren't all of the pictures that I liked from that particular shoot setting, these were still all very high quality in my book, and I'm really proud of them. This shoot is what I consider to be my breakthrough point from this month. This shoot was the result of a creative impulse, and instead of overthinking and overanalyzing it, I just jumped into it with 100% effort. I was getting ready, and when I took my hair out of my towel, I immediately remembered Kim Kardashian wearing wet hair on the red carpet. At that time, it was such a big risk, and yet it ended up being one of the most natural and creative things that anyone had done in a long time. So I decided to just put together the shirt and accessories and went for it. And the result was a shoot loaded with high quality raw images that I was proud of, that I wanted to share with people. Reels through Instagram, on the other hand, is still something that is very much a work in progress for me. While I was able to put together a few this month, it's still not anything that I'm super comfortable with. And so I'm hoping that moving forward, they're something that I can start putting more effort into and trying to figure out how to do them as effectively as possible. Moving forward, I want to make sure that I'm still applying these lessons of just trusting my instincts and making sure that I'm not caught up in fears of trying to be like anyone else, and just continuing to try to create things that I'm excited about. And I think that's really going to play a lot into helping me be able to make a name for myself as a creative, a content creator, and hopefully someone that can work in the fashion industry one day. I always have believed and still believe that the best creatives get better by continuing to practice and create things that are outside of their comfort zone. And so I will always pursue that.